Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be here once again. It's a little bit of a rainy day up in my neck of the woods. Literally, I am in the neck of the woods, I guess you could say. But I'm going to say what the title of this video is in the first sentence as I begin. Everything will be permissible, except for one thing. Everyone will be permissible, except for one. You see, we are in a time of like times of old, where the rituals and the paganistic styles in the mainstream churches, oh, they're there. Don't fool yourself. Some of you know, but you deal with it. You're like, well, I'll just be tolerant. Tolerance? Yeah. They're not tolerant of you. Know that now. We blend and we blur the lines so we can't see anymore. You see, everyone will be permissible. Except for me. True Bible believers will not be permissible. All religions and beliefs will be permitted, except for one. Every Bible will be permissible, except for one. You see, all of these things are happening right before our eyes. And yet we either don't see them or don't want to. You see, if you haven't noticed by now the writings on the wall, then at this moment you are spiritually illiterate. As you can hear the rain pounding down on my window. I could have saved this video for later, but I felt I wanted to talk about it now. So as I'm driving through this little rainstorm, as I think about it, the storm of which we are entering now. People say, oh, we have already started the storm. Oh, we have. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. You know, the mainstream churches talk about, along with paganism and so forth and so on, about you. You can solve your problems. How can you go to a church that tells you can solve your own problems and then tell you God is there to solve your problems? How ridiculously stupid is that? So any church, any pastor, any Christian, any one of them who says, hey, you have the power to solve your own problems. No, you don't. Unless you mean the power that has been given to you by Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, they do not hear you. God gives you these things. I'm baffled at why anybody believes that. Now, I don't want to go off track here. I wanted to make this video short. I really have to stop saying that. You see, we have a situation of pride in this world for some who know the truth and don't want to accept it. Because that means they have to change their lifestyle, their way of thinking, the way they go about their daily business. Much like I don't wear my glasses all the time because I'm in denial. I know that I need those glasses, but I'm in denial. You know you need God, but you're in denial. You know that man by himself cannot help you. He can bring you to the Bible. He can hand you a Bible, and he can give you a few verses. But at the end of the day, he's got to tell you very simply, read. Read the words of God, not the words of man. No matter where you are and where you stand. You have to understand the Word of God. You can't just hear the Word of God. What a great, troublesome period of time is upon us. And we just look around and no big deal. So understand that those of you in denominations, those of you who go to these church buildings, you can keep going. As long as you toe the line. I made a video about freedom versus freedom in my last video, and the differences of the definition of the word state and the word allowed was in the definition. Accident, perhaps? Maybe. But I don't believe in accidents always. The state will allow you certain rights. As long as you toe the line. It's just that simple. Me? Oh, I won't be toeing the line. I've always been one of those guys. I was always a rebel growing up. But I was never an outright rebel who said, oh, I'm going to just fight to fight. No, I always stood up for what I thought was right. What I believed was right. And I am more of those, more or less one of those guys that does the pushback. The more you push me, oh, I'll push you right back. But I'll do it with love. Control is everywhere around us. Everywhere. And we're willing to go, well, I'll give up this one little freedom. Okay, I'll deal with a little of this, a little of that. There was a, and I don't know who it was. There was a pastor I have no idea who it was. And I wish I could remember the name of the person. Could have been just a writer. I don't know. But they had said to do with poison. If you knew you were drinking poison, would you drink it? And what's worse, a cup of poison that kills you right away, or a drop of poison that kills you slowly? Either way, you're going to die. You see, we have let ourselves be infected by poisons from churches, from people, from spiritual leaders, all of these things. The answer is, and has always been, in the Bible. That's it. I will forever and always be sola scriptura. I love using that because I know a lot of Catholics get mad at that. And I think what bothers me most about Catholics, and it says in the Bible, how soon you have taken the Word of God and slightly twisted it. See, others, they just twist it. There are some wonderful, good people who seek the Lord, and they get involved with Catholicism because, oh, there's a structure. Because remember, church government. There's a structure in place. And people like that. People like the structure, you know. Little do they know there's structure outside that building. Nobody's running willy-nilly. Everything I do, or everything I attempt to do, I ask myself, is this beneficial to the glory of God? Those are important things to ask yourself. So I, along with my wife, and along with my children, will one day not be permissible, because I'm not going to ask for help from the Catholic Church building. I am not going to ask the Pope for help. I am not going to ask the rabbi for help, the pastor, the priest, and the list goes on. And in the Bible it does say one cannot call themselves a pastor or a rabbi. But anyways, the only help I will ever seek, ever, and it's worked so far, is Lord. I will pray to God. I will ask Him for guidance, because that's where it's at, in the Bible. If you are fully immersed in the Bible, and I have noticed if I've gone a couple days, I feel a little bit off. Oh, well, you're just so weak you can't handle a couple days of not being in the Bible. And my retort to you would be, are you so weak that you can't turn to it? Are you so fragile that you can't turn to it? Let's not mock people at the moment with that. The mockers, they'll be done with. Now, I'm not asking people to call for arms. If any sword that you pick up that's the most important sword is the Word of God. It will see you through all things. You don't need all the self-help books and a billion of those come along. Okay, a billion is probably a billion sold, but a billion authors, no, I'm exaggerating on the number of that. So if anybody wants to go, oh, he's lying, there's no, he just said a billion of them. Okay. You stick to your little game of semantics. I hope that works out for you. It won't. We are in troublesome times, and we'll be even further deeper in. Another thing I wanted to point out before I sign off on this particular video is I remember looking at bulletins. I still call them bulletins. People who go to church, you can tell. Church building, I should say. We got to pray for our president, Donald Trump, this week. Keep praying for Donald Trump that he's going to fix this nation. When will you guys learn? This nation is not going to be fixed. It's not going to be fixed. But people can. See, we worry about all these other things, our government structures, our taxes, and all that. I'm not saying that stop paying taxes. I didn't say that. But I'll tell you what, if we're more focused on souls, if we're more focused on saving, oh, sorry, we don't save. If we were bringing more of the Word of God to people, we wouldn't be in the trouble we're in. It's just that simple. And there will be far more Christians, true Bible-believing Christians than there are far less, I should say, than there are right now. The majority are not making it. So I'm going to end up rambling through this video because there's a lot I want to talk about, but we need to realize, as you look around with the TV and the news and everything that's going on, everything is being permitted. But one thing, the truth. And dare I say, the truth, the way, and life. Listen, it's time to wake up. Those of you who are not Christians, wake up. Those of you who profess to be Christians, wake up. I wonder if anybody can tell me the bulletin what I was trying to say earlier. They pray about Biden. Well, I'll be the one who goes out there on this one. We should be praying for Biden also. What? He's destroying our nation. We need to be praying for everybody's soul. Everybody's soul. No matter how evil you think they are and how bad they are, and Biden is a bad person. Absolutely. There's no shadow of doubt of it. I mean, we can get discussions of levels of bad and where he's bad. Oh, he's bad for this nation. Absolutely agree. 100%. We need to pray for souls. We need to bring the gospel to people. Christians, we need to do these things. Because that, in the long run, far outweighs the short term of this government. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I got a lot more to say, but I'll just end this particular video. God bless. I love you, and have a fantastic day.